All right. So I know comparing Wemby to Steph is quite insane. But check this article out, okay? We won't go through like every single specific thing on there, but I do find it interesting, and I won't be able to really show the clips either because copyright. But this article, I remember reading this. So this is the map of Victor Wembanyama rim protection. So this is before Spurs even got their hands on our boy. So let's take a look at this, okay? So they just talk about how much impact he has on the defensive end. So they talk about block radius. Let's see. Let's start with the obvious. Victor 7'4". I mean, reported 7'3", 7'5" with shoes, but who knows? And they talk about his block radius, which is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of room that he can navigate in order to block a shot is insane. They talk about that. It's transition defense, shot blocking accuracy. I thought that this was interesting. So Wemby blocked 1.47 shots for every personal foul he committed so far this season, which is an incredible ratio for a rim protector. Absolutely insane. Moving on, timing and patience. This is where he reminds me a little bit of Tim Duncan. Besides his length and accuracy, Wemby offers yet another positive aspect in his shot blocking profile, which is his timing. Wemby doesn't chase blocks. He simply waits patiently and stays ready for the opportunity to block a shot to materialize near him. I think that one player in particular that's really going to benefit from watching Wemby defensively is actually Don Barlow, because I think that that's one thing that he struggled with quite a bit last season. Is he just gets a little too antsy with trying to get blocks. I think having Wemby and someone that's patient around him and going head to head with him is gonna help him quite a bit when they get to go head to head. Yes, see, Wemby realized the size and length advantage that he possessed over an overwhelmingly majority of opponents, which allows him to be patient and wait for shooters to start their up force before he starts his own up force. Okay, that's brilliant. Another thing too is one thing we noticed is that he baits people into 3-point shots, and as soon as they bring it up, he's knocking it out of there. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, they talk about his quickness. You know how fast he is. They talk about his high center of gravity. That's what I care about. This is what I'm talking about. So when I say that he reminds me of Steph, that's what I'm talking about. Because one thing about Steph Curry that no one ever brings up, and I know I said it like a few minutes ago, but people never bring this up, is his level of gravity. We see all of the stats, or not the, well, no, we see the stats, but we see all of the highlights. We see the ESPN top 10s of Steph shooting a mid-range shot, or not mid-range, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. Mid-court shot, turning around, getting cocky, dancing. It's fun. He's a killer. He's nasty. But what really makes him special is that when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's still scary. Like when the ball is not in Steph Curry's hands, he is creating for his offense. That's what makes him incredible. There's so many people that have to focus on him that he opens up everything. As soon as he steps on the court, he just has to be on the court, and he has that level of gravity. And I feel like Wemby, he has that too at this young of an age. He got it right now. He got it on both ends of the court. He changes everything just by the virtue of being on the court. If you guys even recall the two, and that's only two, I know, but the two Summer League games that Wemby played, everything changes when he's on the court. Everything changes. People are afraid to score around him. One thing I noticed was Shaedon Sharpe. He is stupid athletic, right? He didn't try Wemby once. Not once. Every time he got the ball and Wemby was in the paint, he immediately passed it out. Same thing with when he went against Brandon Miller. He blocked that one Brandon Miller 3-point shot. He didn't try him again. And it happened again in the second game. I can't remember who did he block in the second game. You guys probably remember. But he blocked another player in the second game from 3, and it happened once again. They said, screw it. He did not try Wemby again. And that's what makes him special, is that level of gravity that he has. That's why I'm saying he's just so much better than anybody else on our team right now. It's ridiculous. And there's going to be games where we sit back and we're like, oh man, oh boy, Keldon and Devin Vassell, they just made a huge leap, which is probably true. They probably did make a leap, but I guarantee you it's going to be because Wemby's on the court. They're going to look so much better because Wemby's on the court. And he's already like totally fine with passing up the ball, but he just brings so much attention to himself offensively as well. We've seen it offensively. So he just really reminds me of some of the great players in the league, and specifically Steph. Maybe not the same level of gravity offensively as Steph, but on the defensive end, you can see he has the same type of impact, level of impact as Curry does on the offensive end, if that makes sense. He's incredible. He's incredible. He's incredible. Just him being on the court. And every game that I've seen of him, by the way, I'm talking French League as well. Every single game, the beginning of those series, they would try him. Defensively, they would try him. And then he would make a crazy block, or he would contest a plethora of shots, and then they would just give up. They were like, okay, we got to play around this guy. I mean, even Jerry West brought it up, right? Where he's just going to mess up offenses. I think that's exactly what he said, that he's going to mess up offenses. Mixed Boy says, I agree, no doubt. He's more valuable and has more gravity, but that doesn't mean the defense will allow him to score on them easy. I know is better at attacking multiple defenders than Wemby for sure. I'm just saying overall, when we say like how great of a player he is, that's how great he is. It's not just on the offensive side of the ball. That's what makes him scary. Defense turns into offense, you know? It turns into offense. I mean, it turns into easy points. And we have some pretty quick guys on this team. If I recall correctly, the Spurs were one of the top paced teams in the league, right? We're one of the highest paced teams, or quickest teams in the NBA last season. I'll have to look it up real quick. Teams 2023. I could be wrong, but I think we were. Yeah, San Antonio Spurs had the fastest pace by a team in 2022-2023. Yeah. So with that in mind, his defense is really going to help this team. We have a pretty quick team. You got me? His defense is actually insane for his size. It absolutely is. He's not just, that's the thing, he's not just serviceable. Like a lot of big men that are really good defensively and you put them on a guard, they're serviceable, right? If they have to be switched on a guard, maybe 2 or 3 times a game, they can maybe hold their own. Wemby isn't like that. Like Wemby is quick on his feet. He can guard you straight up. And if by some miracle the guard does get past Wemby can block it. Like he covers so much ground and he's so quick, he could just block you from behind. Like he's incredible. So yeah, it's like yeah, he can literally guard 1 through 5. He's similar to Sohan in that they both can guard 1 through 5. Now I would much rather Wemby guard 3 through 5. Obviously, I think City Sissoko's more serviceable 3 through 5, but he can guard 1 through 5. I wouldn't bat an eye if Pop had Wemby playing against Dame, and guarding Dame in the fourth quarter or something. I would not be shocked. They have Wemby listed as a power forward. Well, he is a power forward, so he should run power forward. I remember the streams you had talking about us getting Wemby or Scoot. Good times. Yeah. Now you need to stop. What did I say? What did I say that was out of line? That he can guard 1 through 5? That's like absolutely true. Which part? He can guard 1 through 5. He's scary. He's scary. Like when they say he's an alien, he literally is, dude. Guarding Dame, he's not guarding any shifty guards. He can guard Dame. I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna lock down Dame or nothing, but he can guard Dame. And my point is, even if Dame does get past Wemby, I mean, dude, look, you need so much space. Wemby's so long and so quick, and you need so much space to get a shot off. That's my point. It's tough. I'm not saying Dame goes against the Spurs and not still put up like 40, 50. He's Dame. He's Damian Lillard. But I'm just saying, like, Wemby isn't like, it's not like he's going to be getting turned around on guards all the time. That is not, he can guard guards. Like, he's a really good player who can guard guards. And I'm sorry, seeing how Wemby plays versus like Jeremy Sohan defensively, I've seen Jeremy Sohan guard shifty guards and do just well. And Sohan is not as quick as Wemby is. So I don't have any point in thinking he wouldn't be able to. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Gregor says he will guard a guard the same way a small player would. Average size players still get cooked by Dame. Wemby, the only player expected to lock up both Dame and Shaq at the same time. I guess my whole thing is, I don't think at his size, I don't think there's anybody that's going to be able to guard a Damian Lillard as well as Sohan will be able to. If he gets cooked, he would get just as cooked as anybody would get cooked. That's going to happen. That's bound to happen. I mean, as great of a defender as Kawhi Leonard is and was with the Spurs, he got cooked sometimes. It happens. But Wemby is so special that even when he gets beat, you don't have an open shot. Even if he gets beat, his length makes up for it. That's what makes him scary. So if someone cross him over, he recovers pretty fast. His recovery time is absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying. You get me. Some of you guys get me.